because you're making a geometric solid, just like you're doing in Project 4 when you're trying to, but in Project 4 it's very simple. You're not doing real things. You're doing very simple things, but you still start out with a geometric solid. Okay. So back to this, and let me get this out of the way. Okay, so let's finish this up. I'm drawing it exactly as I did in the profile view. I didn't change a thing. We got our square right there. But now, we want to draw this in one-point perspective. If we leave our horizon line here, as I did here, then it's going to look the same, and it is one-point perspective, but there's no depth to it. So so as it is in those exercises you have, we want to have our horizon line. I'm going to put it up here. Okay, so in one-point perspective, your vanishing point is right there. Now on your exercises that you have in the book, right here, it's going to be off the page, but that's all right. All you're trying to do is to learn how to project this, and you can use this YouTube and this description and this stuff on this page to help you. You'll notice how in this one the vanishing points just go off the picture. And that's all right. What you can do actually is take a extra piece of paper and put it in your book and actually draw a line and tape this in there if you'd like, and you'll be able to find your points that way. Okay, so let's finish this then. We got to go from here. And we'll go up there. So now we're looking down on this, and we have one-point perspective. So how does that help us to draw this? Well, you can take this front shape here and take these two things and project them right through the space like that. You can do the same with the seat, the front of the seat. It's going to go right over there like that. Same thing with this back. Just about any angle, any inside corner or outside corner that you can find, you can use that to project the form. Now, where does the seat end? Well, you've already decided, you already made it here. So you can take this same width here and use this right here. So I'm just reinforcing this so you can see it. Now, this back angle is the same as the front angle, and it goes down to here. So you can see by doing this that, you know, as you did earlier in this class, you could actually use, you'll have this seat too. This would be probably come out, you might see a little bit of this back leg. Might see a little bit of this one too. That you can use either measuring, you can use positive, negative space, but in construction drawing, it can help you a lot to get angles of things a lot more accurate. It's not good for everything, but it's pretty handy to use, and it's something that you should be at least introduced to in drawing 1. Okay, so the next one we have is the 2-point perspective, which we're going to put over here. Now, you'll also have a 2-point perspective project in the book, and the closest corner is already drawn for you on the object. And all you have to do is finish building it like we're going to do right here. So the first thing is we're going to draw this chair again. We're going to use the same eye line as we did here. So first of all, we want to draw the, well, I've got to put the closest corner in here, so that'll be first. And since this is the top, right, here's the corners, these two are not closest, they're equidistant from you, so it starts up here and goes down to here, and I'm just going to put it right in the middle. Now, these points as you noticed in the book, they go off the page. And again, they're going to be way out off, actually off camera. And so that is pretty common. And so what I'm going to do here just to explain this to you is I'm just going to be drawing this where I know that the points would be. Okay, because what I need now is a baseline to start drawing the chair. So if I were to take these two and they went to the vanishing points. So basically what I'm doing is making a geometric solid to work in. That's all I'm doing here. And again, like I did on the explanation of those little those little shapes about worm's eye view and stuff, I'm also just kind of sort of guessing a little bit. Right now at this level for you in doing construction drawing, you really aren't going to do a lot of that in drawing one. It's just a place where I'm introducing this to you because I think it can be helpful to some of you, especially in Project 4. And the exercises don't really require you to do too much. They ask you to make this around the shape, and that's all you have to do. And so what I'm doing in here is I'm basically showing you how to draw something inside the shape, but you don't have to do that. You're just drawing this around the picture. Okay, closest corner. Now where's this middle? Well, one thing you can do, and you notice that if this is on the baseline, this is on the top, this is the baseline, this is the top, this is the middle. Okay, so basically you could actually use a real ruler on a closest corner and find the middle. But in this case, since I put them all across here on an even thing, I can actually make the middle the same place, because this closest corner is not in any distorted foreshortening. So you can actually measure the length of this. But why you need that is because you always need 2 points to find another third point. But you can also find, and here's going to be the second point, where's the middle of this? Well, if you draw these diagonals on these receding planes, it'll give you the middle of the receding plane this way. It will not give you the height middle because this goes to the eye line vanishing points. So this is actually going to be somewhere around in here because it's going up to the eye line. Same thing this way. But so I'm just drawing the middles here for you because they have to go up to the vanishing points. This is the 1 point. 2 point is, like I said, this one is actually both off the screen. But to find the distance back from the closest corner, the diagonals will give you the distance back. Okay? All right, so now we have that. The closest corner, the viewpoint in your book is this. So we would start, if that's the middle, because we measured it, we're going to start with the seat is here, and these went down here, the legs, and it went this way along this line, and this one went along this line, and you see how this one now will go this way. And the back seat, as we know, the back of it is not back to the corner, so it's right here. So now you just go to that and then up to here. And you know that this isn't in the corner. And that happens a lot on your exercise, because when you look at the exercise, all of those shapes are curvilinear shapes. As you notice, these you're going to get the same shapes in 2-point perspective. So they're all curves, and finding the closest corner and putting these in a geometric solid, that's what you're learning how to do, because they're otherwise, you know, they tend to end up looking a little off until you get really good at visually being able to do all your measuring and all those things in your head, which, you know, maybe after drawing 2 you get pretty good at that. Until that point, it's difficult to get complicated round shapes kind of straight. So what you have to do is sometimes use this kind of procedure in order to help you. Now you'll notice this leg is like that. This one back here will be somewhere in there. See how the pencil is parallel to this, and it comes out at the same corner? So it's going to be somewhere in here. Now how far down does it go? Well, this goes the same place this goes, and so the corner is right back here. And so that's where that would go. And that would line up if this front one went this way, like that. This one would go that way, like that. And so then you would get 2 references, and that's what I illustrated here. When I'm writing all these little VPs in here, I'm actually describing the same thing. So once you put something in a solid, it gets very easy for you to line things up. Now, if you started at the beginning of the semester and you were just measuring things with a pencil, you could probably get these right, and that's a great way to draw. That's the way to do that. But this is another little thing for your arsenal, I guess. Now, you know, this is lesson 13. We only have one more, and if we go all the way back to lesson 1, this shape here with this chair in it, you remember, how do you draw a circle? Well, you draw a circle by drawing a square and put the circle in the square. And if the square is a real square, then the circle touching only one point in the middle of each one would be a pretty good circle. Well, there's where you went from lesson 1 to lesson 13. It's the same principle. Okay, well, that's the end of this vocabulary lecture for lesson 13.